What a strange war we had over the weekend. I thought it was going to be World War III for a bit. As you know, the Islamic Republic of Iran backs the terrorist group called Hamas that runs the Gaza Strip. It also backs the terrorist group Hezbollah, which runs much of Lebanon. It also backs the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which is a worldwide terrorist group. Recently, Israel took out some IRGC leaders in an attack in Syria. It took out some senior generals. Donald Trump did that too, if you might recall. It seems that everybody knew when Iran's retaliatory strike would be. And that sort of happened with Donald Trump, actually. Won't go down that road now. But after that strike that killed the terrorist generals, the Al-Quds Force generals, Israel and America announced that they thought, seemed like they knew, an attack from Iran to Israel, not through Iran's proxies, but from Iran itself, would happen at a particular time. In fact, Israel announced public restrictions on gatherings. They had a whole checklist of do's and don'ts. Looked terrifying, frankly. Looked like they were shutting the whole country down. Airspace over the whole country and neighboring countries was shut down too. And indeed, the war came on schedule. Iran launched cruise missiles and slower drones, which actually needed hours to arrive, and the much faster ballistic missiles. Those were very fast. All of them were launched about the same time. It was a challenging defense operation, but apparently the vast majority of them were shot down with various degrees of help from other countries in the region, including Jordan, Saudi Arabia, France, the UK, and the US, including some Navy ships of the US. Attacks onto Israel came from Yemen, Lebanon, but mainly from Iran directly, which has been a change. Now, as I mentioned, Israel claims that as many as 99% of these attacks were shot down. Still, the ones that got through were terrifying. Here's an image of how big one of the ballistic missiles was. Imagine if that detonated on a house or anything. Here's a CNN story that I thought was unusual, but it was my thinking too. Iran's attack seemed planned to minimize casualties while maximizing spectacle. It's a little bit out there for CNN. Here's another one. Iran says it gave warning before attacking Israel. Now, the U.S. says that's not true, but those are mainstream news sources saying that. Here, let me read a little bit from an extended Twitter post by Naftali Bennett, the former prime minister, who was actually in Canada just last week. He said, some points regarding the overnight Iranian missile attack on Israel. Number one, contrary to what pundits are saying, this wasn't designed merely as bells and whistles with no damage. When you shoot 350 flying objects timed to hit Israel at the same moment, when you use three fundamentally different weapon types, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, and UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, you're looking to penetrate Israel's defenses and kill Israelis. Number two, U.S. administration is telling us this is a victory. You've already won by thwarting the missiles. No need for any further action. No, it's not a victory. Yes, it's a remarkable success of Israel's air defense systems, but it's not a victory. When a bully tries to hit you 350 times and only succeeds 7 times, you've not won. You don't win wars just by intercepting your enemy's hits, nor do you deter it. Your enemy will just try harder and with more and better weapons and methods next time. How do you deter? By exacting a deeply painful price. It goes on at some length, but these are serious people who are saying this. The war looks like a made-for-TV stitch-up, like that old movie with Dustin Hoffman called Wag the Dog. Do you remember that? In a way, everyone gets a PR win here. Iran can look tough to its own people and its supporters. Israel can get a military victory, a dramatic ratio of striking down those weapon systems. It can feel great about it. Biden can get the upper hand on Israel and try to stop it from finishing off Iran or to finish off Hamas in the southern Gaza Strip. How about here in Canada? That's where we live. That's what we care about. Look at this from Toronto. Watch this video.
Everyone, I would like to make a quick announcement to interrupt the process of making this announcement. The Islamic Republic of Iran has just sent tens of drones towards Israel. Let's come as a direct response to the bombing of Israel to Syria, Iraq, Palestine, Lebanon. Israel has bombed multiple countries.
That was the moment the pro-Hamas thugs on the street heard about the Iranian attack. The Twitterer says this is Toronto, where a mob is cheering for Iran. The Islamic Republic of Iran has just sent tens of drones towards Israel. They were cheering Iran on our streets. Look at this from Calgary. Today, during the anti-Israel rally in Calgary, a protester was seen giving a Nazi salute while holding an image of the Iranian Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. This comes a day after Iran attacked Israel. We have literal terrorist supporters on our streets cheering Iran. The mayor of Calgary, Jyoti Gondek, her office was right behind this guy. I don't know if you could tell, but that guy giving the Sieg Heil Hitler salute was standing in front of Calgary City Hall. There were police everywhere. They didn't lift a finger. They didn't care. The mayor probably saw it with her own eyes from her window. But remember, Jyoti Gondek is the Calgary mayor who refused to attend a Jewish Hanukkah menorah lighting ceremony because she said it was too political. And she's done the math. There's about 8,000 Jews in Calgary and about 100,000 Muslims in Calgary. And there was no way she was going to go to a Jewish event and risk all those votes. That guy with the Sieg Heil was her people. This is going on everywhere, by the way, all across the West. I shouldn't say everywhere. There's no protest in favor of terrorism in places like Dubai. But these people on our own streets, many of whom were brought in just in recent years, they really want to kill us. And by us, of course, I mean you. They're dressing up for it. They're practicing for it. There's also a sour online anti-Israel right-wing community. Jackson Hinkle is an example of that. He's been on Twitter literally cheering for Iran and China. He calls himself America First, but it's not America First to be cheering for the Iranian dictatorship against America. How do you square that circle? I think the number one thing we have to do is to fix immigration. For housing reasons, for social services reasons, for traffic reasons, for inflation reasons, yeah. But also, I hate to say it, but I've noticed that most of the people calling for terrorism in our streets are recent immigrants who were clearly not vetted for extremism. Israel has its problems, but don't think we don't have them too.